Good morning, class 10th. Let us start new chapter, resource and development. Let us try to define resources first. Everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs, provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible and culturally acceptable, can be termed as resource. Now what does this definition means? वो सारी चीज़ें जो हमारे एनवायरनमेंट में मौजूद हैं और हमारी नीड्स को सेटिस्फाई करती हैं और उसे हम अपनी प्रेजेंट टेक्नोलॉजी से एक्सेस कर सकते हैं और हमारे पास जितनी हमारी इकोनॉमिक पोजीशन है उससे हम उस चीज़ को ख़रीद सकते हैं और वो चीज़ हमारे कल्चर में भी एक्सेप्टेबल है, उसे हम रिसोर्स कह सकते हैं। तो आपको इसका काफ़ी हद तक मीनिंग क्लियर हो गया होगा कि कोई भी चीज़ रिसोर्स तभी बनती है जब वो टेक्नोलॉजिकली एक्सेसिबल हो, इकोनॉमिकली फिजिबल हो और कल्चरली एक्सेप्टेबल हो। नाउ लेट मी शो यू वन पिक्चर। इन दिस पिक्चर व्हाट यू कैन सी अ ट्रायंगल। This triangle is showing interdependent relationship between nature, technology and institution with the human beings. Human beings are dependent upon technology, institution and physical environment, and these all things are also dependent upon human being. If human being was not there, the technology would have never been invented, institution would have been never invented, and the physical environment would have never been used. So the human beings are the center of this entire relationship chart. Human beings are the most important element in this chart. The process of transformation of things available in our environment involves an interdependent relationship between nature, technology and institution. Human beings interact with nature through technology and create institution to accelerate their economic development. आपने पिछले वाले पिक्चर में देखा कि कैसे ह्यूमन बीइंग सेंटर है सारी की सारी एक्टिविटीज़ का, कैसे ह्यूमन बीइंग सेंटर है और वो कैसे इंटरेक्ट करता है पूरे के पूरे एनवायरनमेंट में प्रेजेंट कंपोनेंट्स के साथ। ये जो डेफिनेशन है या ये जो टेक्स्ट मैंने लिखा हुआ है ये भी बस इसी बात को डिफ़ाइन कर रहा है कि कैसे ह्यूमन बीइंग ही पूरे प्रोसेस में इन्वॉल्व है। अगर ह्यूमन बीइंग नहीं रहेगा तो कोई भी जो थिंग है, जो एवरीथिंग की हमने पहली डेफिनेशन में रिसोर्सेज में बात करी थी, कोई भी थिंग को हम रिसोर्स में ट्रांसफॉर्म नहीं कर सकते हैं। ह्यूमन बीइंग इज़ अ प्राइमरी एलिमेंट ऑफ द एनवायरनमेंट विच चेंजेस थिंग इनटू अ रिसोर्स। Now we can say that resources are function of human activities. Human beings themselves are essential components of resources. They transform material available in our environment into resources and use them. Now let us talk about the classification of resources. How the resources are classified. First of all, see this picture very carefully. Now let us talk about types of resources. As you have seen the classification and types means the same thing. So now we are going to talk about all the resources in detail. First division is on the basis of origin. On the basis of origin, resources can be divided into two parts: biotic resources and abiotic resources. Let's take biotic first. These are obtained from biosphere and have life, such as human beings, flora and fauna, fisheries and livestock. Now let us talk about abiotic resources. All those things which are composed of non-living things are called abiotic resources. For example, rocks and metals. Next type of division is on the basis of exhaustibility, renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are those which could be renewed or reproduced by physical, chemical or mechanical processes. And for example, these resources are solar and wind energy, water, forest and wildlife. Renewable resources can be further divided into continuous or flow. Continuous resources are those resources which are flowing in nature, like wind and water. You can see that they both flow. They both are of flowing nature. So we can say that these resources are continuous resources. Now let us talk about non-renewable resources. These occur over a very long geological time. Minerals and fossil fuels are example of such resources. These resources take millions of years in their formation. Some of the resources like metal are recyclable and some like fossil fuels cannot be recycled and get exhausted with their use. Now let us talk about next classification, that is on the basis of ownership. The first one in this classification is individual resources. Individual resources are those which are privately owned by individuals. Like many farmers own land which is allotted to them by government against the payment of revenue. In villages we have this kind of example, and in cities we can take example of plots and houses owned by individual. So we can say that individual resources are those which gives benefit only and only to a particular person. Next is community owned resources. There are resources which are accessible to all the members of community, like public park, picnic spots or community hall or centers. Now let us talk about national resources. Technically, all the resources belong to the nation. The country has legal power to acquire even private property for public development, or we can say public goods. They can convert the private property into public property anytime they want. You might have seen roads, canals, railways being constructed on fields owned by some individuals. Urban Development Authority get empowered by the government to acquire land. All the minerals, resources, forests, wildlife, land within the political boundaries and oceanic area up to 12 nautical miles, or in other words 19.2 kilometers from the coast, termed as territorial water, and resources therein belong to the nation. So the national resources are those resources which are any kind of resource which is in the boundary of the country is a national resource, whether it is public or whether it is private. Now let us talk about international resource. There are some resources which are regulated by international institution. Nobody can take out those resources without the permission of these international resources. So, for example, the oceanic resources beyond 200 kilometers of the exclusive economic zone belong to open ocean, and no individual country can utilize these without the permission of international institutions. Next classification is on the basis of status of development. In this classification, first resource is potential resources. Resources which are found in a region but have not been utilized For example, the western part of India, particularly Rajasthan and Gujarat, have enormous potential for the development of wind and solar energy. But so far, these have not been developed properly. So, we can say that potential resources are those resources which are not utilized or developed properly. Resources which are surveyed and their quality and quantity have been determined for utilization are known as developed resources, or we can say that those resources about which we know how to use them and our technology is also fit for their utilization is known as developed resources. Coal can be example of developed resources. Stock means those resources or those materials in the environment which have potential to satisfy human needs, but human beings do not have the appropriate technology to access them. So, for example, water is made up of two inflammable gases, hydrogen and oxygen, and these two are the immense source of energy. But we do not have proper technology to avail that energy, to access that energy. So, stock is material in the environment which have potential to satisfy human needs, but human beings do not have appropriate technology to access these. Reserves are those resources about which we know we have proper technology to access them, but we are not using them, or we can say their use has not been started so that we can use them for meeting our future requirement. For example, river water can be used for generating hydroelectric power, but presently it is being utilized only to a limited extent. Thank you and see you in the next class. Till then, stay home, stay safe.